Kentucky or what? Dan Hurley turned down the Lakers job.
Yeah.
And now James Borrego is a finalist for both the Cleveland head coaching job and the Lakers head coaching job. And Woj was on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt last night and said this about Borrego, which is going to bring us into our topic. Steve?
That search, if it begins somewhere, Woj, is there a place that they start?
I think James Borrego is still going to be a significant name in this search. He's in Cleveland now. He'll meet with the Cavaliers on Tuesday all day long. You know, he's prominent in that search. They'll have Kenny Atkinson in later in the week with the Cavs. But Borrego's already been in twice in L.A., head coach in Charlotte, who, when you look back, went from 33 wins to 43 wins, two play-in tournaments, and then a really good season last year in New Orleans, where they hold him in high regard as a top assistant. He's with Pop a long time in San Antonio. I think he'll be prominent in both the Cavs and Lakers searches. And there may be another name or two with the Lakers. You know, they brought in and interviewed a number of coaches already. They'll go back to that pool. I'm told they'd like to try to have a coach by the draft, which is June 26th.
So this could be wrapping up soon for both the Cavs and the Lakers. Borrego's, like I said, near the top of the list for both. Yeah. Jason, is James Borrego a coach worth having a potential bidding war over between the Cavs and the Lakers?
He's my top choice. Like, from the start of this, I like Borrego the best of all the names that have been out there. I don't know that I would get into a bidding war over him, but I think he's in a really good spot right now. Obviously, the Lakers have botched this at every turn. Like the JJ thing, was my impression that was like done, and now they're just in a mess. And if you're JJ, why would you even take that job?
Yeah, it's embarrassing now.
So that could spin them back toward Borrego. He's already been out there twice. You know, we said earlier that the Cavs were on Zooms last week, and their candidates are coming into town this week. They could have this wrapped up by the end of the week between Kenny and Borrego. They've been the two names that have been at the top of this list all along. Kenny was thought of to be the leader, you know, from the start of this, and I think Borrego's kind of done himself well to this point in the interview process. And it's worth also noting he's coming from New Orleans, where obviously David Griffin is now, and David and Kobe are tight. So, you know, David's going to tell Kobe everything he needs to know about Borrego. So I think there's probably a little bit more familiarity on that side than maybe there would be. I don't know of any strong connection with Kenny Atkinson and the Cavs. You know, I was told Kenny was sort of doing his homework on the Cavs last week, doing due diligence on ownership and that sort of thing. And obviously the agency connection, both Borrego and Atkinson are rep by CAA, which also reps Donovan. So for what that's worth. But if you're making me choose between Atkinson and Borrego, I would take Borrego. I think he's a better offensive mind. And Atkinson did not fit well with Stars in Brooklyn. They wanted him out. And we just went through that here. And I just think Borrego had very little to work with in Charlotte, and I thought he did a good job.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, there's some people that would just rather live in L.A. than Cleveland. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not one of those people. And I like L.A. But am I crazy thinking the Cavs job's a way better job
No,
than the
we
Lakers
talked
job?
about this.
Yeah.
If you just look, like, take location out.
Yeah.
If you just look at, like, roster, trajectory, ownership, spending, all that stuff, I think the Cavs is a better job. Now, the Lakers job comes with juice and cachet that no other job in the league has.
Right. But there's some negative.
To coaches, that counts for something.
The coaches.
But the Lakers are also a tire fire.
Yeah. This is crazy. I kind of feel stupid asking this question. But
no, go ahead.
Are there some coaches that, like, look at, especially at his age now, like they don't want to have to deal with LeBron because he.
That's not a stupid question at all. It's like the whole declining superstar thing is real. I've talked to coaches who coach LeBron who said it's difficult.
Right.
Because they can't do what they once did, but they think they still can.
Right.
And it's very difficult. Yeah. So, and by the way, everybody's acting as if LeBron is going back, and he very well may. It's not a done deal that LeBron's going back to LA. So then what? If he does leave, then what? If you ask me which job is the better job, I'm taking the Cleveland job over the LA job every time. I think it's a better job. And like the Lakers are just mismanaged from top to bottom. They're a joke. And the way that they've handled this, they've embarrassed themselves. They've completely botched this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I'm James Borrego and I look at how the Lakers have handled this search, I'm like, I don't want to be part of that. I would take
Right.
Cleveland if it comes down to it. If the money's similar, I would come down. Now, also, they're like Dan has paid coaches in the past. He had to pay Mike Brown a lot to get him to come back because he fired him the first time.
Yeah.
But also, like Dan doesn't pay executives well. Like that's been made known that
Right.
he's but with coaches, it's kind of hit and miss. Like they totally. When they brought Chauncey Billups in, they offered him nothing to now there's a front office job. I do think they prioritize coaches more than they prioritize front office roles in terms of salary and money. But the Lakers also don't really pay that well. Like the Lakers try and lowball their coaches.
You
That's
can't
weird.
in LA because you'll have your check gone.
The Lakers, I believe, look at this as like, hey, we're the Lakers. You want to come work for
Right,
us?
right.
I agree.
And I've talked to coaching candidates who've gone through LA who got lowballed big time.
Yeah.
By ownership
Yeah.
in terms of pay. So I would think that the Cavs would be very competitive. And if you're like who's going to pay more, the Lakers or the Cavs? Probably the Cavs for that job. So I think they're in a good spot.
$70 million.
If that's who they want.
It's fascinating. Like, the one thing you can't complain about with Dan Gilbert, like Jimmy Haslam, is that he's not afraid to spend money, but he doesn't spend on the front. And that's why I guess that's part of the reason they always hire the next assistant, right?
They just
At
promote
GM.
them. Now I think
Yeah.
Kobe probably got a pretty good bump when he went to president of basketball. But like Griff was one of the lowest paid GMs in the league.
So weird that
when you take out I think he had some incentives in the deal that he obviously hit with championships and everything else. But like base pay, Griff was one of the lowest paid GMs in the league when he was here.
If I'm the Cavs, I'm gonna not let Borrego lead today. How about that? Let's just.
But I mean, again, Atkinson was their top candidate going into this. That doesn't mean it hasn't changed now.
And he's visiting tomorrow, by the way, for in-person interviews.
So it would be. I would actually be. I think I'd be a little bit surprised if Borrego left with an offer today. I guess it's possible, but I think that they want to see this process out.
Yeah.
Well, they going if he doesn't go today, then LA is probably not going to let him leave the next time they talk to him. So
they can go back
by default, then you'll just be left with Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
That's the way I look
they
at
might
it.
talk to some other guys. Who knows?
No.
I think it's down. I think it's down to those.
Just
Yeah,
those
it's
two.
done.
By the way,
What happened to Chris Quinn?
we showed a clip from SportsCenter. When's the last time anybody here watched SportsCenter for more than like 2 minutes?
Video clips on the internet.
Right.
I can't remember the last time I
don't really watch-
I can tell you for me personally,
Yeah.
this morning while I was icing my hamstrings,
You watched SportsCenter?
nothing else is on at 7 in the morning.
Why are you?
Why are you icing your
icing
hamstrings at 7 in the morning?
I went for a run on Sunday and then I hooped last night and my hamstrings are just sore as hell.
Oh, all right.
So
You're
I
not in
was icing my
shape.
hammies.
You're not in shape anymore.
Get-
Tyvus,
old.
last time you watched SportsCenter?
Yesterday.
You did?
Not watched it. Like I glanced at it when I was walking in before I had this incident in the gym.
Right.
When I was walking in the locker room, it was on TV.
I don't ever
yeah.
turn on ESPN unless it's for a game.
Never.
I
Me
don't
too.
watch
Never.
TV and I don't watch any sports talk shows
Yeah.
because I don't want to hear what they say because it'll mess up how I think. So
I've always felt that way.
I want to have my own opinion about certain
I
topics.
used to watch Pardon the Interruption all the time. I never watch it anymore.
No, I never
Can I
watch
give one thought on Borrego real quick, and then we'll
No,
head over to Super
no,
Chats?
no thoughts from you on
all right.
Borrego.
All right, we're
Go
gonna
ahead.
no, I'm just kidding. I spent a lot of time this morning diving into some Borrego stuff in case he is the hire, whatever, and we got to break on live.
Yeah.
If the Cavs decide to keep their core four together, and Bull, yes, I know you hate the thing core four. I see you shaking your head. I'm just calling it the core four because that's what they call it. A lot of the stuff that Borrego likes to run and ran successfully in Charlotte were predicated on two ball-handling guards trading off, and he had two bigs in the lineup. So I'm not sure how much of a factor that'll play, but knowing what Atkinson ran in Brooklyn and what Borrego ran in Charlotte, what Borrego ran in Charlotte fit I hate saying the core four better, but fits two bigs and two ball-handling guards who trade off responsibilities way better than what Atkinson ran in Brooklyn. And a little teaser, if it is Borrego, if it is whoever, I got a bunch of clips kind of breaking that down for when the hire happens that we'll show on the Ultimate Cavs show.
And again,
So,
they're telling teams we're not trading them. I just want it on the record. They're telling
Right,
teams
right.
we're not trading them.
All right. Did we have
We'll
one
see.
other thing we had to hit on? Otherwise, was going to bring up something else.
we have something else for overtime, but we're not going to do overtime because we're going to let the IT guys come in here and
Yeah,
check
yeah,
this
okay.
out. So let's read Super Chats and we'll do real